Good morning. One of the first steps on my self awareness journey was in my early 20s. People were always asking me, "What's wrong?" And I hated that. I think things like, "You asking me what's wrong is what's wrong. Why are you asking me what's wrong?" And they say, "It's the look on your face. You look like something is upsetting you." So I started paying attention to the look on my face. And I look in the mirror and I noticed that I had this look on my face, probably the one I got right now, the look of displeasure. And I realized that I was kind of uncomfortable and in pain because I was constipated. And that's when I got that look on my face. And my mother read this book. I believe it was The Road Less Traveled. And she said, "Oh, Gail, I just read this book and I'm the reason you're obsessive compulsive." And I'm going, "Well, thanks for the diagnosis, Mother. I didn't know I was obsessive compulsive." So I get the book and I read the book. And what she was talking about was it was her potty training method that affected the way I am. And I realized that was why I was constipated, was because I tended to procrastinate about going to the bathroom until I absolutely had to. And the whole time that I needed to go, but I was procrastinating, was when I had that look on my face that made people ask me, "What's wrong? What's wrong?" They could see the discomfort in my belly because it was coming out on my face. So I did something about the constipation, and at first I tried Metamucil, but if you aren't careful with that, that'll stop you up like a brick. Increased my fiber, that helped a little. But the thing that helped me the most was increasing my magnesium. And that also helped me with the leg cramps and the muscle cramps that I kept having. I realized I was magnesium deficient. And that if I would go and try to go to the bathroom, as soon as I felt the first urge, a lot of times I could go. And also drinking a big glass of water first thing in the morning really, really helped. Anyway, I got rid of the constipation and started making an effort to be more positive, because it seemed like people were worried about me, or they just thought I was an unpleasant person. And when people would say, "How you doing?" and stuff like that, I would say, "I'm doing fine. I'm doing great. Wonderful. Wonderful." And then that started pissing people off. They acted like I was a Pollyanna, or that I was an ostrich that had my head in the sand. They had a, "Well, if you aren't outraged about what's going on in the world, then you're not paying attention" attitude. So you can't please anybody. If you're unhappy, they worry about you and want to know why you're such a negative person. And if you're positive all the time, then you don't have belly discomfort, and so you don't have that ugly look on your face that they don't like. And you're smiling, you're happy, and you're nice. They're jealous because they can't figure out how to be happy too. It's always something, if I may quote Rosanna Dana. There's no way to please everybody. And that bugs me. Because I'd like to live in a happy, compatible world. But I guess there isn't one. I don't know if you can see me looking around, but I was trying to find the little timer thing so I could see how long I'd been talking. Anyway, so the challenge is authenticity. How do I be authentically me in the present moment without somebody complaining about how I am? It's impossible. You cannot. At least I cannot. Maybe you can. If you can figure it out, I want you to comment and tell me how you did it. But I hadn't figured it out. It's always something. Somebody somewhere always has a complaint about how I am. You're a people pleaser. You're always trying to make people happy. No, I'm trying to get them off my back. So they quit complaining about how I am. They don't like the look on my face. Doesn't matter if it's happy or sad or whatever. There's somebody who doesn't like the look on my face. What are we doing here? What are we doing here on this planet pretending to be human beings when there's a bunch of people that don't even have souls? How dare they claim to be human? What is going on, really, in this mass hallucination, conglomerate idea that we're acting out? We're acting out. I don't know, that sounds like a child who's deliberately being bad. Not acting out. We're actors playing a role in a movie that we're collectively writing as we go along. Or something. I don't know what's going on. But I'd like to figure it out if it was figure-outable. Is that a word? If it was possible to figure it out, I would like to figure it out, and I don't think it is, so I don't know why I even bother to try. But, I mean, am I the only one? Am I the only one who can't do anything right? Who always has somebody to answer to? Why are these people always nagging me to be different than what I am? I guess it's just the way it is, and I have to accept it. So I'd love to hear from people who grapple with the same kinds of issues, who are trying to figure out this puzzle, this Rubik's Cube of an existence that's never going to be any different. This is what it is. This is what we have to deal with if we want to be human. And I'm not even sure that we want to be human. I think we might just get stuck here. And how do we do that? Anyway, my name is Gail. And Madam Hipple told me never tell anybody my age, but I'm going to do it anyway because I am proud of having reached the age that I am. I am 70 years old. I can't hardly believe it. Here I am. Here I am. And I'm a retired naturopath, massage therapist, sexologist. I've studied yoga, did Iyengar yoga for 30 years, and studied Kundalini, and I'm a Kundalini yoga teacher certified. But I think I'm really better at Iyengar style yoga. And I'd like to say I've learned a lot from life. But probably more accurate would be I've made a lot of observations that are relevant to me, and I'm wondering if they're relevant to anybody else and if anybody else has noticed what I've noticed. And that's why I'm doing this. Or am I just boring the hell out of everybody else? You know, I mean, I've had this thing where friendship has become difficult for me and my friends lately. I annoy them, they annoy me. We miss each other, we want to be around each other, but we don't like each other that much anymore. Or it's not even that we don't like each other, it's just that we get on each other's nerves. And maybe just because we're so anxious because of all the craziness that's going on in the world, I don't know what's happening, but something is happening, and I hope it's an evolution. It's a evolution of consciousness, and we're becoming better people. But do I dare hope for that? Because the more self-aware I become, the more disappointed I am that I wasn't different in specific ways at specific times when I couldn't until I made the mistake and looked back on it. It's just like it's. And then I go sit out on the back porch and listen to the wind chimes in the trees and the birds cooing. And I take a deep breath and I think about what created me. And I'm glad to be alive, despite all this. Despite all this, I'm glad to be alive. And then this little fear comes up that it could all be taken away if Iran drops a nuclear bomb on us. And I think, why do we have to have this worry, this fear? And then I read a study about rats who all died because they were given a utopia to live in. And I'm glad it's a mess. And that's where I'm at. And I'm hoping people will interact with me and we can discuss this kind of things. What do y'all notice? What gives you pause to ponder? Have you come up with any solutions that are helpful? Do you have any ideas for things I can talk about? You have any questions for me? I know a lot about herbs and vitamins and relationships. I've studied relationships, read a lot of relationship books. I studied to become an alcohol drug abuse counselor for a while and worked. I accumulated 1,800 hours towards my KDAC certification before they changed it to LCDC. Pretty good counselor, but I got carpal tunnel from writing case notes and decided, you know what, maybe counseling isn't for me. But I could do it on the internet if I didn't have a supervisor wanting to read my notes, making that, because writing all those notes just, that was too much to ask. But I understand why they need them and why it's required. But if you can make me write all those notes, I need a smaller caseload. Thank you very much. And the people deserve more attention than what I could give them, considering how many people I had to see. It was like giving a drop of water to somebody who needed a teaspoon. Actually, they needed a gallon, but then I don't even think there was that much of me to give. Anyway, I would love to hear from some of you all if you're listening long enough to hear this. And if you like what I have to say, give me a like. I would appreciate that. And subscribe, because I'm going to be talking about a lot of things. My next one, I believe I'm going to talk about things that bug me in my relationships with men. Maybe I might talk about that next. I don't know yet. But thank you for watching. Bye.